Good afternoon and happy Veterans Day. First, I wanted to apologize because I know a lot of the contents of this video is going to contradict a lot of what I talk about on this channel as far as not being able to feel anything and being able to express emotions, anything along those lines when we're talking about schizoid personality disorder. But that's what I wanted to talk about in this video is the misunderstanding that schizoids don't have emotions, which a lot of times is simply not true. I know there's a lot of different. I made a video on the spectrum of things. Some people might have it worse than others, and I know some people, like in my case, you just have very little emotions, express very little emotions, come off as a brick wall, or like they don't. To others, it might seem like they don't have emotions. The saying that we don't have emotions just isn't true because we're humans. We have emotions, and I know a lot of times for a lot of schizoids, it's the processing of these emotions, they don't understand them or they don't know how to express them. Whatever the case may be, it'll just make it appear as if they don't have emotions. And a lot of cases with a lot of schizoids, they actually have more emotions than others might. But the problem is in, like I said, the understanding and processing these emotions. It's not an active thought like you'll see, oh, I'm happy right now. It's not that you're thinking about, oh, how do I feel happy? Happy people smile. Maybe I should smile. That's essentially what it's like, and that's what happens a lot in the brains of the people who are like this. That kind of leads me to my next point. I wanted to talk a little bit about music. It was a big thing I wanted to talk about in this video because I know, at least a lot of the people I talk to, and I know in my life, it was very big to me. Music was a lot of people who are considered to be schizoid will have a very profound musical attachment, whether they play an instrument of some kind or they listen to certain genre of music intently. Something like every schizoid that at least that I've ever talked to, or even myself, has been very tied to music in some way, shape, or form. And usually, more often than not, it's a heavier genre of music like metal or rock or some kind of screamo, really emotional music. You know, a lot of musical genres that you find a lot of emotional songs in. A lot of emotion is expressed in these songs, and I think that's why a lot of people like myself are drawn to music like this, is because these songs, these genres tend to express emotions in ways that we can't, in ways that we don't understand. A lot of times if I'm feeling a certain way, a song, whether it's happy, sad, or whatever, it'll express the emotion that I'm feeling at that time, and just audibly hearing my emotion, so to speak, it's a really weird connection, and it's just like, whoa, that's what I want to say, and I don't know how. It draws you to it, you know, having that kind of validation in a sense that it's a really weird experience, and that's kind of proof, at least to me, you know, that we do have emotions. It's just kind of hard to express and understand them sometimes. Even me being, you know, as old as I am and living the life that I have and everything, I understand emotions a lot more than some might. Especially the younger people who are considered to be schizoid, they probably have a bigger problem processing these emotions. But, you know, like I said, me being as old as I have, I can understand these emotions a lot more. I know when I'm happy or jealous or whatever. A lot of the times it's very null, and a lot of the times I very rarely have these kinds of emotions, which is, I've stated before in all my videos that I talk about this. But I know for a lot of people that I'm talking about who might not have it as severe as myself, or other people who have it worse than me, or other people who have it not as bad as me. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I'm not good at grammar. But I just totally lost my train of thought. But no, every natural action that we take of our own free will, every natural action we take of our own free will is governed by emotion. You know, whether you want something or you like something or you hate something or you care for something, every action we take, that everything we do is governed by these things. You know, if you wake up in the morning, you don't have to work, you don't have to take your kids to any kind of practice, or you don't have to cook dinner for your wife or husband, or you don't have to do anything that's based on responsibility. Anything you do is based on you and your emotions. You know, maybe like you pick up a guitar, it's because you want to play guitar. Whether you're schizoid or not, you do things, you do something. And I very highly doubt, and I strongly doubt, that there are people out there who will literally just wake up in the morning and sit there and not move until the day is over. Just sit there in a chair and not move. For one, I don't really think that's possible unless you have some other things going on. But if you're just considered to be a schizoid, even these people, I highly doubt they would just simply sit there in a chair and not do anything. Even if they're sitting in the chair to daydream, then they like daydreaming, and that's what they're after. They like these things. It's an emotion. But like I said, a lot of times it's hard to express these things and understand these things, and that's kind of what the basis of being schizoid, or the whole schizoid world is about, per se. Sorry, I just got a text message. That's what this whole thing is about. Just emotions and not expressing them, not understanding them, not displaying them in any way. So a lot of times it comes off as not having any emotions. But that's pretty much the point I wanted to get across, because I know there's been some people asking on some of these videos, do you feel anger, or do you ever feel stressed about this? Because I mentioned before that I'm in a relationship, and it's progressing. We'll be moving in with each other soon. We'll be getting married soon, and all this stuff. And they're asking questions about being stressed, or how I'm gonna do without having the alone time that I get now, or do I ever get mad? Stuff like this. Yes, I feel those emotions. I do. I'm human. There are things that irritate me, especially because I'm a schizoid. I have a very solid routine I stick to when I work and when I don't work. I have very specific things that I do in the day, very specific. And anything that deviates me from that path, I'll get very angry. If I have in my mind I'm going to go to Walmart and pick something up to eat and come back to my room and watch YouTube and eat it, on my way to Walmart, if there's a car accident and I have to sit there for a while, I'll get very upset because it's not what I had planned. It's not what was... I get upset about those things, and that's an emotion, being upset, being angry. But somebody on the outside wouldn't know. They would see me, a normal me, sitting there blank-faced. But that's just how I am, how I express things and how I deal with things. But my point is that schizoids do have emotions. A lot of times, like you'll hear me talk about in my spectrum video, sometimes their ability to process and understand these emotions is so null and not there that they just won't understand that they're experiencing any of these emotions. And a lot of times, a lot of emotions that people, especially the people who have developed this, who weren't necessarily born with it, who had developed this over the course of their life, a lot of the emotions that they had felt were negative, like jealousy, hatred. A lot of times from abuse, people can turn out like this. These really strong negative emotions, they're not pleasant, and you do a body's natural reaction to avoid these as much as possible, to suppress these, and you suppress them so much that you suppress everything, because anybody will tell you negative emotions will overpower anything else. If you're in a relationship and you love someone, the second that you feel like they might be cheating on you, or you get jealous or something, that jealousy overpowers whatever else you were feeling. It's a negative emotion. It always seems, at least to me, at least from what I see in the world, that negative emotions will always overpower positive ones, no matter what it is. You can be the happiest person in the world, and you hear a dog whimper, or your pet gets kicked by somebody, and you're instantly you're mad. It doesn't matter what you were happy about or how happy you were. Now you're mad. And these negative emotions, you do whatever you can to suppress them, and I think that also helps lead to the way that we are as schizoids. But I think I'm kind of beating a dead horse here. I mainly just wanted to say that schizoids, they do have emotions. They do feel these things. They get angry. They get jealous. They cry sometimes. They get happy. They even laugh sometimes. Whether it's fabricated or not, I mean, even I find myself genuinely laughing at something sometimes. It's very, very rare, but it does happen. When I'll be wearing my mask, like I am now, even making these videos, how talking with my hands and emotions and smiling occasionally and stuff like that. Obviously, it's all fabricated. I'm not like this normally. And I actually plan on making a video soon with my girlfriend talking about, our relationship and the way things are, the way... what it's like dating somebody like me, and the things that she thinks about, stuff like that, because I know some people have asked about that too. And she'll tell you that I'm not like this. The things you guys see in these videos, it's not really me. But even with this fabricated, this mask, this personality that I put on for the camera, the fake laughs and all that stuff. Sometimes, like I said, very rarely, some of them are real. Like it'll be a genuine laugh, and that's an emotion. It's an emotion that is expressed naturally. I'm not thinking about, oh, I have to smile because that's what happy people do. They smile, so I fake smile. A lot of times it's genuine. Not a lot of times, but you kind of get the point that schizoids have emotions. It's anybody who thinks that they don't have emotions, it's just not correct. They do have emotions. But that's what I wanted to say, and I'm sorry for repeating myself, and I'm sorry if I've contradicted any other videos that I've put out, because I know I kind of help perpetuate the idea that we don't have emotions, because that's the way I feel. I don't feel much of anything. I'm not genuinely interested in very much. There's very little that I'm actually interested in, very little that actually gets me to express something, whether it be a laugh or sadness or anything like that. There's very little that provokes me in any way. So it's perceived, at least by the people who know me, that they think that people who are schizoid just don't have emotions. I just wanted to say that that's not true. We do. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.